The girl had clearly been dead for 3 days, but the man claimed he had a way to save her. Watching him touch the girl's corpse, Din Jiang was furious. It was simply an insult to the dead. Her internal organs were shattered. For an ordinary person, this was undoubtedly beyond saving. But for Lin Fan, as long as the 3 souls and 7 spirits remained, Din Jiang, let's go out. Wang Yuxuan understood Lin Fan's ability and immediately pulled Din Jiang outside. Soon, only Lin Fan and Li Xiaoke were left in the room. Xiaoke made a small sound, but Lin Fan acted quickly. In a short moment, Li Xiaoke's body was covered in needles. They were inserted to prevent her 3 souls and 7 spirits from. This stabilized her energy. After completing everything, Li Xiaoke's eyelids twitched noticeably. Then she slowly opened her eyes. Her eyes were filled with fear. Uncle, am I dying? I feel so old. Can you hug me? All right, Uncle will hug you. Lin Fan held Li Xiaoke tightly. Li Xiaoke smiled, but her smile soon froze. Her hands fell heavily. With the naked eye, you could see strands of transparent seeping from her body. No, I clearly sealed the 7 apertures. Why is her soul still escaping? Xiaoke, Uncle won't let you die. I will reverse yin and yang for you. I'll borrow a life from the heavens. He recalled the blood shadow soul summoning his master had taught him years ago. This array went against the natural order, but he couldn't care less now. Lin Fan suddenly pounded his chest hard. Using his right hand, he manipulated the energy within, harnessing blood essence to reverse between him and Xiaoke, their life forces in the blood essence spread, permeating the room. Strands of faint golden spiritual energy, they formed a mysterious. The rune mark suddenly flashed with red light, turning the entire room blood red. It looked like a scene from the Shura Hell. Strands of transparent mist appeared in the red light. They slowly flowed back into Lish. At the same time, the sky outside thick with ominous clouds. Thunder and lightning. Huge bolts of lightning streaked across, shrouding the entire spirit under a blanket of heaven's oppressive might. In an instant, the citizens of Spirit City cried out in fear. Why is there a sudden thunderstorm? And why are the light? Look, that lightning is even glowing. Wang Yuexuan looked up at the sky, their faces filled with worry. Both were martial arts. They immediately sensed something. The clouds carried a powerful heavenly pressure. And then the gathered clouds suddenly, a thin emaciated figure flickered across the sky for a brief moment. Then a faint sigh echoed through. The sigh was subtle and masked, so no one noticed it. Back in the room, Li Xiaoke's complexion began to improve. A slight flush. As the chaos outside subsided, Lin Fan braced himself for the punishment, but after scanning the surroundings, he realized nothing was. Didn't Master say this formation is forbidden? Why is there? Could it be that the heavens no longer punish such? Lin Fan was puzzled, but he didn't dwell on it. Lin Fan then gently carried Li Xiaoke and opened the door. Outside, Wang Yuexue was. Lin Fan gently picked up Li Xiaoke in his. He opened the door. Waiting outside was Wang Yuexue. Lin Zhongtian, Din Jiang, and the others saw Lin Fan. Their expressions shifted. They quickly rushed over to Lin Xiao. Is she alive or not? Someone asked. Are you joking? This is just insulting the dead, Din Jiang said coldly. Lin Fan stared at Din Jiang with an impact. He released a faint wave of pressure. Din Jiang couldn't withstand it and dropped to his knees. Seeing this, Wang Yuexuan and the others were They hurriedly pleaded. Lin Xiao, please spare him. He acted out of concern. Lin Fan exhaled a deep breath. Did you check the We did, but it's unclear. We only saw a few strange shadows slipping into your sister's dorm room. Then your sister was taken away, controlled by the shadows. Wang Yuexuan quickly explained. Hearing this, Lin Fan recalled his sister's last words on the He muttered, this must be an assassination technique. Few people in Lanxin know. Lin Fan then took out his phone and called his 6th senior brother. I need to ask you something. Is there any faction capable of using such a technique? Feng Muchen, hearing Lin Fan's tone, his smile, there is indeed such a sect. He said solemnly. They are called the Shadow Men. 100 years ago, they were a guild who committed numerous heinous crimes, but later, they were wiped out by the leader of the Guardian group. Xia Yundian, a murderous aura began to radiate from him. My sister was kidnapped by Xia. My foster sister nearly died. 6th brother, send me Xia Yun. I'm going to the capital. Feng Muchen's expression, he quickly said, Junior brother, don't act impulsively. Xia Yuntian was the true dragon's son. He was once known as the strongest poet, and he also commands countless powerful forces. We need to plan this carefully. No need. It doesn't matter if you tell me or not. I'll figure it out once I get to the cap. Lin Fan hung up the phone without expression. He handed Li Xiaoke over to Yun Zhongqian. No questions needed. Take good care of her. Consider it a favor to me. Meanwhile, in a high-end club in the capital, Feng Wuchen stared at his phone, his expression shifting. No way. I need to inform the other senior brothers to help. As he made calls to notify the others, he hurried toward the enforcement division. In the southwest borderlands lay an endless desert. At the center of the desert stood several walled cities. These ancient walls seemed to have endured countless years. Upon closer inspection, one could see the surface of the wall was covered with innumerable scars. Blade marks, sword cuts, and claw scratches were everywhere. It was hard to imagine the terrifying battle inside the walls at this moment. A group of people had gathered. Among them were top assassins from the dark web, elite mercenaries from the central regions, and even some with strange facial markings, suggesting ancient tribal rituals. In the center of this formidable crowd stood a lone man. His muscular body exuded power, a testament to his strength. "Hand over the relics, Wuba, or today will be your end," said a cold voice from one of the top assassins. As soon as the words, the others sneered and added, "The relics of the ancient nation are not for you alone to possess. Your only option now is to surrender them." Hearing these words, Wuba smirked disdainfully. He was about to strike, and at this moment, the special communicator in his belt started. It was a call from the sixth junior brother. He immediately answered. After hearing Feng Wuchen's words, a peculiar gleam flashed in his eyes. "Fine. This is a good chance to return to the..." And just then, hand over the treasure. A group of strong opponents surrounded him. Deadly moves were launched from all. The aura was incredible. "I was going to play with you all for a while, but now that's unnecessary. As the fourth senior brother, I won't let anyone bully my junior brother." Wuba unleashed his mighty, muscular body, emitting a dazzling golden light, until his entire body was enveloped in gold. He appeared incredibly formidable. These renowned foreign warriors couldn't withstand even one punch. In just a short time, everyone was obliterated by Wuba. Then, he quickly headed towards the building. Meanwhile, a man in green from the Mount Shu sword set was playing chess with the sword saint of Mount Shu. The man in green was none other than Lin Fan's third senior brother, Li Yuanhao. "Brother Yuanhao, your strategy is as extraordinary. I'm afraid I can't last 10 moves against you now. You're too modest, sword saint. Among all martial arts, once your sword technique is unleashed, who could possibly stand against?" Li Yuanhao smiled. At that moment, after hearing the message from the other side, his brows furrowed slightly. Then his whole body and vanished into the horizon. In the Amazon, several eerie statues, and among them was a man with long hair. He exuded an imposing presence, walking calmly with his piercing eyes. At that moment, he slowly opening his eyes. He stretched out his hand. He extended his hand to calculate. Junior brother is indeed. Anything related to him is shrouded in mystery. Completely indiscernible, the long-haired man shook his head. He was none other than Lin Fan, master of destiny and fortune, known as the divine seer, Zhu Xiaoming. Forget it. I should make a trip back." With a slight movement, Zhuge disappeared from the spot. Lin Fan had no idea that because of the sixth senior brother had notified all the. At this moment, he was standing by a bustling street in Kyoto, using the divine stone to carefully search every corner. As one of the top departments in the nation, the guard unit surely had its own. Soon, Lin Fan discovered a complex of ancient-style buildings in front of which hung a red plaque with golden characters reading National Guard. Finally found it. With a slight movement, he disappeared from the spot. The next moment, he was at the end, walking straight inside. A congenital martial artist. "Stop, this is a restricted area for officials only." Without saying a word, Lin Fan grabbed the martial artist by the neck and carried him inside. A tang-suited elder at the peak of rushed out with a group of people. "Young man, who are you? Do you realize the consequence? Call Xie. Tell him Lin Fan is here." The tang-suited elder paused. Then, as if realizing something, his pupils contracted. "Our group leader is not. If you wish to visit him." Then, as if realizing something, his pupils shrank. "So it's you. Our leader is not here at the moment. If you wish to visit him, you can come back tomorrow." Bang! Lin Fan slapped the tang-suited elder, sending him flying. "You have at most 1 hour. If Xia Yundian doesn't show up, everyone in your office today will accompany him in death." At this sight, the scene fell into a dead silence. At this moment, another young man arrived at the scene. Seeing this young man, the guards from the unit all showed expressions of delight. "It's Qin Long, Qinlong, ranked 8th on the list, is a peak-level martial soul expert. It's said he can fight across and once debated martial arts with a martial saint. Lin Fan instantly appeared in front of Qin. With ease, he grabbed Qinlong by the neck and lifted him up. Qinlong's expression changed. He immediately mobilized his inner energy to break free. But no matter how much he struggled, it was futile. What were you about to say? Lin Fan asked. Qinlong looked at Lin Fan's expressionless face and involuntarily swallowed. Why don't you come in for tea? I'll inform the leader right away. Lin Fan threw Qinlong to the ground. You have 58 minutes left. Don't think I'm joking. If Xia Yundian doesn't come, all of you will die. With that, he found a spot to sit cross-legged, closing his eyes to rest. Qinlong got up from the ground, a hint of resentment flashing in his eyes as he looked at him. You want to show off? Then I'll fulfill your wish, he sneered inwardly. Without hesitation, he took out his phone and made a call. Soon, an astonishing piece of news spread across the Kyoto. Someone named Lin Fan attacked the guard, attempting treason and rebellion. I, Qinlong, on behalf of the Qin family, call upon all experts to assist. The news immediately caused a massive uproar. Kyoto, being a vital national hub, is home to a place teeming. Even the legendary martial saint are occasionally seen on the street. Yet in such a place, someone dared to act so recklessly. For a moment, powerful warriors from prominent martial families hurried towards the guard unit's office to see what was happening. At the same time, in a hidden chamber, Xia Yundian and An Yi stood side by side. In front of them, Li Yunyao was chained tightly, unable to move. His face was pale, and his heart was filled with fear. My brother won't let you go. Is that so? I won't let your brother go, Xia Yundian said coldly. At that moment, a shadow entered the chamber, reporting everything that happened at the guard unit to Xia Yundian. Xia Yundian listened, a smirk forming on his lips. The smirk gradually widened. This Lin Fan is truly foolish, dumb enough to act like this. Daring to openly challenge the guard unit's office? What do you think? An Yi asked. You stay here and wait. The moment news of Lin Fan's death arrives, act immediately, Xia Yundian said, quickly leaving the chamber and heading straight for the guard unit. Meanwhile, the guard unit office was already crowded with martial artists. These martial artists surrounded Lin Fan in several, glaring at him fiercely, ready to strike at any moment. But they hesitated to act, instead standing aside, as if waiting for something. At this moment, Lin Fan slowly opened his eyes, looking towards Qinlong in the distance. 40 minutes have passed. Haha, don't worry. I've already informed him. Everyone who needs to come, and I promise it'll satisfy you. A faintly bloody smile appeared at the corner of Qinlong. Lin Fan slapped Qinlong, sending him flying. Qinlong wiped the blood from the corner and got up from the ground, his face as dark as it could get. Why did you hit me? I felt like it. Do I need a reason? Lin Fan slapped him again, sending him flying. This time, the impact was a distinct cracking sound of bones breaking. In a flash, Lin Fan stepping on Qinlong's face. What do you think you are? Did you think I couldn't detect your mocking tone or see the killing intent in your eyes? Upon hearing these words, Qinlong was both shocked and alarmed. Qinlong was now publicly humiliated. How could he save face in the future? At that moment, a commotion arose at the edge of the crowd. A group of martial artists entered, about a dozen in total. Among them, the weakest was and the leader, a refined middle-aged man, exuded an unfathomable. He was a peak martial, on the verge of becoming a martial saint. With their arrival, the martial artists of various factions began to murmur amongst themselves. Madman Qin is here personally. Madman Qin is infamous for his martial talent is average, but his love for taking risks transformed. Through battles, he ascended. Meanwhile, Qinlong, who was being stepped, was overjoyed to see Madman. Second uncle say Madman Qin didn't. Instead, he looked at Lin Fan and said, seeing Qin Madman arrive, his expression turned. Second uncle, save me. Qin Madman did not reply. Instead, he said to Lin Fan, before I came, I specifically looked into your situation. Your strength is indeed impressive. Young people can be impulsive, but never reckless. Xia Yundian's strength far exceeds your imagination. As Qin Madman spoke to his tone shifted. You can let go of my nephew. Your enemy is Xia Yundian, not the Qin family. There's no need to offend the Qin family completely. Lin Fan looked at Qin Feng. His eyes narrowed slightly. You are a smart man. I enjoy dealing with smart people, Lin Fan said, lifting his foot off Qinlong's face. Boom, a terrifying aura burst forth from Qin Madman's body, exuding intense pressure. Many of the onlookers retreated dozens of steps, clearing a large open area. What are you doing? Lin Fan asked coldly. What do you think? At this moment, his demeanor had completely changed. You are right. I am a smart man. But unfortunately, you're too foolish to seek without investigating his background. The Xia family, where Xia Yundian belonged, has had a friendship with the Qin family for otherwise, how would my nephew hold a top guard position? Why would my nephew be entrusted with Qin Madman sneered continuous, so you're actually allied with Xia Yundian? Lin Fan's expression remained. Before Qin Madman could respond, Qin Long sneered. That's right. The Xia family has deep ties with the Qin. I've watched him grow up since. What now? Are you dumbfounded with anger? Lin Fan did not respond to Qin Long, as there was no need to argue with a dead man. He quietly pondered in his heart. 50 minutes had passed. The dancers from all major factions in the capital, Xia Yundian, was the first to receive the news. How could there be no response at all now? Therefore, Lin Fan suspected that Xia Yundian had likely but hadn't rushed to take action and instead sent Qin Madman to test him first. Thinking of this, Lin Fan directly grasping at Qin Madman from a distance. Bang! Qin Madman's fist instantly disappeared. Qin Madman felt an intense pain, forcing him to retreat over 10 steps before he could stabilize him. In the next moment, Lin Fan appeared before him, grasping his neck and lifting him up. Xia Yundian, I know you've arrived. Come out, you dared to kidnap my sister. Why not dare to show your... Lin Fan looked around and said abruptly. The dancers from all the major factions present changed their expression. It turned that Xia Yundian had kidnapped Lin Fan's sister, forcing him to come seeking revenge. At this moment, a deep voice echoed through the venue. Don't accuse me false. What kind of person do you think how could I kidnap your... Instead, your irrational actions today in attacking the key guards of the Great Xia. Do you even understand the significance of the guard group? They are the strongest shield of Great Xia, protecting countless citizens. Everyone turned to look and saw Xia Yundian walking forward alone at a steady pace. Perhaps because of his long-standing height, it felt as if the one approaching wasn't but a deity walking amongst mortals. Crack! Qin Madman met his end on the spot. In the next instant, Lin Fan flashed before Xia Yundian and slapped towards him. Xia Yundian responded by extending his right hand. Boom! Their hands clashed with an earth-shaking roar. Lin Fan felt something strange. Xia Yundian's strength was immense. He could clearly sense a formidable... But after this attack, he seemed surprisingly fragile. It felt as if just a little more effort could shatter him completely. Was he pretending on purpose? But what would be the purpose of doing so? Lin Fan thought about it but found no answer. He coldly said, Xia Yundian, if you continue like this fight is over. Xia Yundian wiped the blood from the corner of his... Although he didn't reply, a trace of blood flashed in his eyes. At that moment, a cold voice echoed through the venue. Lin Fan, you are too arrogant. Do you know that the clan leader of Xia once fought against foreign powers and was severely... His strength is now less than... Otherwise, would you be his match? I wonder who gave you the audacity to lay hands on a hero of Great Xia. The dancers present turned their eyes in unison. When they saw who had arrived, their pupils contracted slightly as they gasped. It was Elder Huang. Elder Huang was one of the most prestigious figures. Not only was he exceptionally powerful, but he also nurtured 3 sons of True Dragon for the nation. Each of these sons of True Dragon was a super strong individual. It was rumored that one of them had transcended Elder Huang, leading... Lin Fan, are you all right? Uncle Huang, What are these minor injuries to me? In these times of internal and as the clan leader of the Guardians, I, Xia, cannot solve the nation's problems. But if I trouble everyone with, how could I face the people of this land? Xia Yundian said solemnly, full of reverence. The leaders of the various forces present admired Great Xia's growing strength, which was thanks to individuals who silently protected and contributed in the shadows, silently dedicating them, In comparison, Lin Fan truly seemed despicable. He actually accused clan leader Xia of kidnapping. Clan leader Xia, Elder Huang mentioned you were... What happened? A patriarch from the capital suddenly spoke up, asking... As these words fell, others also showed curious expressions. It's nothing, really. Xia Yundian waved his hand, reluctant to say more. Yundian, there are some things that must be said so people will know how much you have contributed to Great Xia. Elder Huang interrupted Xia Yundian, speaking solemnly. Everyone knows about cyborgs, right? Through certain technologies, a country can grant an ordinary person or even the power of a martial. This is undoubtedly a very bad... Cracking the technology behind cyborgs must be to obtain information about cyborgs. Yundian risked his life, leading a team to secretly infiltrate a laboratory. However, they were eventually... and nearly the entire team was annihilated. Only Yundian escaped with the crucial data, severely injured. The data was vital and has already been handed over to the... At this point, Elder Huang cast a cold glance at Lin Fan. That's why I said what I did earlier. If Yundian weren't severely injured, how could he lose to a mere boy? As these words fell, the crowd erupted in astonishment. Some looked at Xia Yundian with tears in their eyes, while others glared at Lin Fan with hostility. How could such a hero be humiliated by others? Ha ha! Lin Fan laughed. He neither explained nor wanted to explain anything. Even if condemned by all, even if the world became, what did he have to fear? I will kill Xia Yundian right now. Let's see who dares to stop me. At this moment, a cold voice echoed through the venue. Is that so? You have quite the audacity. In a place like the capital, do you think you can act? Everyone turned to look. When they saw the newcomer, they all looked delighted. Wonderful, it's Di Kangtian, Lord Di, one of the last generation's sons and exceptionally powerful. As these words fell, another man arrived. Haha, it's been a while since the capital has been this lively. I hope I'm not late, he said. Dressed in flowing white, he exuded an extraordinary aura, as if a celestial being had descended to the Feng Chenhai, another son of True Dragon. Someone exclaimed in awe. Interesting, a voice remarked. A woman in red walked in from the distance. Her tall, graceful figure made her strides seem, but each step covered 100 meters. In the blink of an eye, she stood before the crowd. Her identity was soon revealed. Ying Hongshui, another son. With the arrival of these three, the tension in the venue noticeably eased. Ha ha ha! Xie Yundian was he hadn't expected Di Kingtian, Feng Chenhai. The three were his peers, once the top geniuses of Great Xia. With the three of them, even a martial god like Lin Fan might not. At this moment, Elder Huang frowned and said, "This one is peculiar. The three of you should join and quickly take down Lin Fan." The three sons of True Dragon didn't and nodded in agreement. They directed their gaze toward Lin Fan. But at this moment, the crowd stirred again. Feng Muchen stepped forward to stand in front. His icy gaze swept over the three sons of True Dragon. Elder Huang. Lin Fan is my junior brother. The matter between him and Xia Yundian is a personal. You stood up for Xia Yundian. Attracted the attention of three. That might not be a good idea. Huang Lao remained indifferent. Feng knew Lin Fan made a big mistake. Today, we must support Juruo. If you insist on tangling with me, don't blame me for taking you. With his status, Feng Mucheng was just a minor. He didn't need to take the other party seriously. And at this moment, a loud thunder suddenly erupted in the sky. A burly man swiftly flew down from the horizon. His physical body was incredible. Wherever he passed, space trembled. With light and lightning, he produced piercing sounds. Wu Ba rose slowly. He twisted his neck, producing cracking. He stepped forward in front of Lin and said in a booming voice, I am your fourth senior brother. Lin Fan looked at his fourth senior brother. Fourth senior brother's cultivation only at the early Yuan Yin, but he was obviously a physical. In terms of physique, he was slightly stronger. Don't be fooled by the fact that fourth senior, in terms of combat, he could even fight against those at the peak. This was cross-realm combat, truly terrifying. And at this moment, Huang Lao asked coldly, "Who are you?" "I am Wu Ba, but people usually call me Papa." Wu Ba replied indifferently. Huang Lao's expression turned. He was so furious he almost fainted. Wu Ba ignored Huang Lao and instead looked around. "Who is Xia Yundian?" Xia Yundian's expression changed. He didn't dare respond. Wu Ba looked like the kind of brute who solved everything with fire. Now heavily injured, who knew what he was planning to do? Fourth senior brother, he is Xia Yundian. At this time, Feng Mucheng flew over from. Pointing at Xia Yundian, he shouted loudly, "Good, I see." Wu Ba slapped Xia Yundian, then lifted him up and tossed him around. It looked like he was toying with a rag doll. Xia Yundian struggled with all, but it was futile. This man was terrifying. His strength was astonishing. "You're being too reckless." Ni Kangtian intervened coldly. His face was filled with murderous intent. He threw a direct punch toward Wu Ba. Wu Ba didn't flinch. He let Ni Kangtian punch land squarely on his chest. With a loud bang, Wu Ba remained unmoved. It was as if nothing had happened. "Can't you punch with more force?" Wu Ba reached out his massive hand toward Ni Kangtian. With a heavy slap, he struck Ni Kangtian. Ni Kangtian couldn't evade. He was hit hard in the chest, flying dozens of meters. Finally, he crashed into a stone pillar. Seeing this scene, the arena fell silent. Lord Ni actually lost. He was a son of the True Dragon of the previous generation. Huang Lao's expression dark. He immediately signaled Feng Chenhai and Ying Hong to attack Wu Ba. The two sons of the True Dragon glanced at each other. They were ready to join forces. But just at that moment, a 3-foot-long sword flew down from the sky. It plunged heavily into the ground. Under immense force, the sword trembled slightly. It kept vibrating. Then a man dressed in green descended from the sky. The man in green was none other than third senior brother, Li Yuan. He smiled faintly, then walked straight up to Lin Fan. "Junior brother, I am your third senior brother." Lin Fan nodded in response, feeling somewhat surprised. He hadn't expected his third senior brother to. Upon witnessing this, the martial artists felt completely dumbfounded. What the hell is going on here? Lin Fan has so many senior brothers, and each seems more powerful than Lin Fan. Do you really think bringing in means I can't deal with you? Huang Lao pulled out a yellow talisman. He shot it into the sky. The talisman instantly turned into a dazzling ray. It hovered in the sky, emanating power. By my command, come quickly to defend. Moments later, 8 fearsome figures descended. Their presence was unfathomable. Each one exuded immense pressure. Feng Mucheng's pupils contracted. He immediately recognized who they were. The heavenly chosen squad, formed from those who lost in the True Dragon Sun selection, was a team with unparalleled willpower. They usually handled external missions, though perhaps not as strong. They were not far behind. In other words, these 8 were nearly equivalent to 8. With Ying Hongshe and Feng Chenhai also present, there were now 10 peak martial saints on the field. And at that moment, several terrifying auras emerged from the each was earth-shattering. Each made heaven and earth change color slightly. Each sent shivers down everyone's spines. Their hair stood on end. The patriarchs of the 10 great families of the Tang clan, Zhang clan, Zhou clan, Shangguan clan. When the 10 patriarchs united, the oppressive aura was enough to leave countless warriors suffocating. Huang Lao, why have you summoned us with the dispatch talisman? One after another, the prominent figures and gentlemen, the dispatch talisman should only be used in the most critical moments but today's events leave me no choice. Huang Lao explained the situation word by word. At this moment, Xia Yundian suddenly fell to his knees. Tears streaming down his face, he pleaded, It's my fault, Xia Yundian. Sorry for troubling everyone to come. At this moment, Xia Yundian had already lost both arms, a sight so tragic that it shocked everyone. All the experts present were visibly moved. It was as if the softest strings in their hearts had been. Xiandian, don't worry. With us here, you will remain safe and sound. A peak martial saint named Chen Sheng spoke up. Other experts echoed his sentiments. Afterward, more than 30 top-level experts surrounded Lin Fan, Wu Ba, Li Yuanhao, and Feng Mucheng. Each of them radiated a cold, murderous intent. Li Yuanhao, Wu Ba, and Feng Mucheng frowned slightly. This group represented the peak of the capital's power. Now gathered here, even the 3 of them felt the pressure. At that moment, Lin Fan stepped forward. If you're so confident, let me help you clear your heads. Xia Yundian isn't as simple as you think. Lin Fan's body vanished from its spot, charging directly into the crowd. He alone and faced over 30 of the capital's strong without a hint of fear. Third senior brother, should we help? Feng Mucheng asked suddenly. Wu Ba was about to charge in, but Li Yuanhao stopped him. No need. Look at how calm junior brother is. Us helping would only insult him. After a pause, Li Yuanhao added, besides, back then, Master sent us all to nurture junior brother. Aren't you curious about his current strength? Making sequels takes time. The video currently corresponds to chapter 299. For the impatient, click the bottom left Wukong icon to search Deadly Brother to catch the thrilling updates in advance.